What's up, guys? This is Lashin speaking. Today I'm doing one of these videos where I'm reviewing something again, but it's not a toy, it's a actual thing. Hmm. Looks like I'm actually getting used to doing these TV/movies reviews. I hope you guys are enjoying them, though I totally am enjoying most of them. So I'm sure you read the title. Review on BNA or Brand New Animal. If you're possibly wondering, what is BNA or Brand New Animal? Well, that's the new show on Netflix, you see. If you are a fan of anime like me, then you will understand and what Trigger is. The studio's Trigger. You possibly know what that studio is because they release things like Kill la Kill, which if you are a teenager, I highly recommend. And Kill la Kill, don't watch it in school. Little Witch Academia, Inferno Cop, and Donald and Franks. But of course, Donald and Franks had some help with A1 Pictures of Sword Art Online fame, which is also another good anime to watch. Anyway, this is not recommending animes and such. I had that happen before, but what I'm talking about is Brand New Animal or BNA, and the news Netflix show. And if you're possibly wondering why am I not continuing on with the Transformers Siege thing, it's because I actually don't know if there's plans on a second season. So, and also I got sidetracked with watching that show. Leave me alone. But anyway, Brand New Animal was pretty good. I'm gonna go down in this one. I'm gonna talk about the characters, the animation, and then the story, if that's fine with y'all. What's that? You don't want that to happen? Well, guess what? It's my channel. So it's the characters. We're gonna talk about a few characters that I liked. The characters that I thought were interesting. If there are some characters that I missed, or your favorite character that I missed, please leave it down in the comments below. And also, I'm very sorry. And also, before we get down into this, there is going to be some major spoilers for the show if you haven't seen it, which is like, why haven't you seen it? It's kind of good. Anyway, we're going to talk about a main character, Michu, who is kind of our main character of the story. She reminds me a lot of Kamala Khan from the Marvel Comics, and I don't know if that's on purpose or not. But hey, we got Kamala Khan in an anime. That's lovely. And I recently learned that she is voiced by the same exact voice actress who played Asuna in the English dubbed version of Sword Art Online. Right? And I'm sure some people are. And before I actually should continue on, no, I do not know when BNA came out. I am aware that I think it came out in April in Japan, but here in America, I honestly don't care. Here, it's just Netflix recommends you something. What do they recommend me? Okay, I'll give this a whirl. That's basically how I watch my shows. Netflix recommends me something based off of the things that I liked. Win-win for me. Win-win for them. I still watch their garbage. Anyway, not Kamala Khan. Michu is pretty interesting. She, like I said, she reminds me a lot of Kamala Khan from the Marvel Comics. And to my knowledge, her animal form is a tanuki. That's what she believes. It's a raccoon. Who would I want to blame her? Or if I was turning into an animal. Well, actually, we'll get to that later. Up next is Silverbolt. I actually forgot the character's name. I think it's Shiro or Shiru. I don't know how it's pronounced either way. I'm calling him Silverbolt. Well, because I'm a Transformers fan, and also that plays in later with his character. Silverbolt is actually a pretty cool character. He's kind of like Wolverine mixed with Bond from Seven Deadly Sins, and I also learned that they're both voiced. That the Silverbolt and Bond are voiced by the same exact guy. That's funny. So I like Silverbolt. Silverbolt's cool. Up next, we are going to talk about Nazuna, who is voiced by Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins. And again, it's funny. Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, I might remember. I do mention that a little bit, but Seven Deadly Sins is a good Netflix show. I highly recommend it. Season 4 is almost coming out soon. It's a really good show. I highly recommend that. Anyway. Well, you got Nazuna. No, oh wait. Yeah, Nazuna is voiced by. Oh no, that's another character. Another character is voiced by same exact voice actress for Elizabeth in Seven Deadly Sins. My bad. I got my characters mixed up. And this does happen sometimes where I watch a show, my characters do get mixed up. So my bad. Nazuna. She's a good character. She is Michi's best friend from school. She also got the same exact problem that Nazuna had. Not Nazuna, Michi had. And Nazuna is a fox. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to run down a few other characters that I'm going to mention, and I'm going to tell you my opinion on them in a very quick way. We got Marie the Mink, who sounds an awful lot like Lisbeth from Sword Art Online, and Saya Kamiki from Madoka Magica. Good. Madoka Magica is a really good show. I highly recommend that one. I like her character. There's Nina, who is voiced by the same exact girl that does Lisbeth's voice. Nina Flip's father comes into the story later. I like her. I figured out she was a dolphin. At first, I didn't know that. I thought she was a mermaid, but whatever. There is the mayor. She's interesting. She is a Nakamura. I think she plays more of a role in the prequel novel, which I am going to read soon. There is Alan, or as I like to call him, Golden Fox. Golden Fox is just a joke. He's basically pure. Well, we'll get to that later. And then there is Snake Boy Cliff, who is basically supposed to be the manager of Nazuna. And I think that's it. I can't think of all the other characters. There's at the moment, dying over here. Can't think of any of the other characters. There's at the moment.
Right now, excuse me. I'm gonna take a swig of my water. Perfect.
Alright then. And now, real quick. I like the animation. The animation reminded me a lot of Kill la Kill. And they're both made by the same studio, so they're gonna look the same. No, I got a legit Kill la Kill vibe from it. But whatever. Alright then, let's talk about the story now. The story is interesting. Okay, so this is major spoiler territory for my friends. If you don't want to get the show ruined for you, I highly recommend you click off. If you don't care for the show getting ruined for you, or you've already seen the show, then stick around. Alright then. Alright then. You guys know what you're doing, right? You stick around. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna say. It's not like I'm gonna swear or anything, but look, I'm warning you. Okay? Alright. Look, I'll give you to the count out of 5. And once when I say 5, too late, we're on the spoiler territory. Alright? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright. Alright, your time's up. Alright then. So from I don't know what year the show takes place. I'm gonna guess 2020 because that's when the show came out. Well, so the show is about our girl Michu, who is a human that got turned into a beastman. And both her and her best friend Nazuna, both were affected by this. This is such, and the reason behind it is they got into a pretty bad accident and such. They went to the hospital. Then they had to get blood transfusion and such, and they got beastman's blood. It got mixed up with human's blood, and then they got affected by it, which is okay. Hey, it does lead a question on what would happen if a beastman got human's blood mixed into their system, and I'll get to that later, but it's just a theory, and I'll talk about that theory later. So since she felt left out and such, bunch of being human, she decides to run away, go to Anima City, which is kind of like the Zootopia of this world. and such. And she meets our friend Marie the Mink. She goes to the vet. They talk a little bit. They get Marie takes her to Anima City, where she'll be safe. There's a festival going on for the 10-year anniversary of Anima City. We meet Silverbolt for the first time. He's crying or something. I don't know. No, he's making it look like he's crying. I'm guessing. I don't know. No, at first I thought there were scars, but I was wrong. Do you see a little bit of a Little Witch Academia reference there? Oh God. Dinner. It's trying to get out of me. Yeah. One more sweet. Alright then. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so there's a lot of things to go on. That's the basic premise of the show, is that and what Netflix tells you is that she's trying to find a cure for her Beastman-itis, is what she calls it. So that's what Michiru calls it. She calls it Beastman-itis. It's yeah, there's a lot of things that go on in the show. For an example, she gets a smartphone and she'll be able to go through human thing. There's Facebook, which is a joke on Facebook. We meet Nina Flips, and her dad is a mob boss. Let's see here. What else is there? There was Nazuna. We do meet Nazuna in the Silver Wolf cult thing. The Silver Wolf is basically like a savior and such, like their version of Jesus. He's this they feed him and then he saves them. I don't get I don't get it. I thought it was funny though how our boy Silverbolt eats the food that you give to the Silver Wolf to save you, and when you rewatch the show, you're like, it's funny. It's funny because he's the Silver Wolf. Anyway, so we meet Nazuna. She's a fake Silver Wolf. She's basically like acting she's the Silver Wolf, but she's not. So yeah, that's an interesting thing and such. Then we meet. I'm trying to remember how things are called. These things could be out of chronological order. Michiru plays baseball. We meet her bear friends and such, and it is like funny to see how they interact, especially at the end of the episode. So that's so funny. One thing I did notice though is that not the soundtrack for the show, but I'm gonna mention that. But I'm gonna mention one of the songs for the show. It's called "Running Night." It's the end credits song, and it's really, really good. It comes up a lot in the show. There's a flashback scene with Nazuna and Michiru where they listen to music on AirPods. And I got some AirPods here for like $30. I know that that's cheap for AirPods, but I don't have a good job. Leave me alone. So they're listening to that. They're eating macarons. I think that's how you pronounce them. And that's nice. And in that same episode, when Nina and Michiru go to a human party themed for Beastmen, the music in the background is Running Night, and I thought it was funny. And I think it was episode 11, 3-minute mark, I believe. At that exact moment, Michiru and Nazuna are actually singing the chorus for Running Night. I'm not going to sing the chorus because I don't know the chorus that well, but it's like so funny. I highly recommend you guys see it. So that's that. I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I thought that was funny. And you're rewatching the show and hearing that, and I was just like, God, wow, that's funny. So there's that. Then there is, like I said, there's the mob thing and such. There was like a stage thing where there was gonna be an attack on Golden Fox here, or his name is Alan in the show. But I'm still gonna call him Golden Fox. Maybe I'll switch between Golden Fox and Alan. But Golden Fox gets attacked, and I thought it all looked staged, and there's a lot of things on my mind when I was watching it for the first time. I was so in theory mode that I was just like comparing things to Marvel's Mysterio. How Alan could have been like this Mysterio character where he's basically using lies and deceptions to basically fool people, the people he's that work for him, names actors, they don't suspect things are going on. And I was just like in my head, I was like, yo, that'd be pretty funny. I knew he was the bad guy. When I first saw him, I was like, man, he has to be the bad guy. And I was right. Right, there's a lot of things that I was right about first watching it. So much I was right about it. Yeah, let's see here. There was this thing going on during the show, and this was like the big climax of the show, too. It was the Beastmen, if they get too emotional, like if they get too mad or too scared or too upset or anything, you know what I mean, then they will Hulk out, you know what I mean? They'll go Hulk, and try and kill people. And I was just like that's very interesting. I like that. Of course, I thought that was funny, but the plan was for Alan was to inject the Beastman with this anti-Beastman thing that basically kills the Beastman gene, and it was just like, oh my god, I'm legitimately watching something X-Men related, because there was a whole hate Beastmen, don't hate Beastmen, Beastmen have rights, no they don't, which reminded me a lot of the whole mutants have rights, right? They deserve to live. No, mutants do not deserve the right to live because they can do bad things with the weird abilities they can do. Then there's the whole, we must get rid of every beastman on the planet, and then we'll be safe. And the beastmen are like, no, we deserve to live. And it's the same exact thing with the X-Men, where mutants are dangerous. We must get rid of them all in order for humanity to be safe. And then you got the mutants, and the people that want to help the mutants are like, no, they have rights to live. And then you got these drone things that shoot killer beastman thingy that gets rid of that gene, and it just reminded me a lot. And they target just beastmen, and I was just like, oh my god. In my head, I was like, oh my god, those are the Sentinels from the X-Men. And I was just so convinced. And the little darts, too, that got rid of that gene just reminded me so much of The Last Stand, where, if you recall in that movie, they made a cure for mutants, so, the mutants can get this cure, and it would get rid of that mutant XG if they didn't want to be a mutant anymore. And the mutant character Rogue got that cure, or such, or she can finally be with Iceman and such, and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. And why does she still have her powers in the Rogue cut? I don't get it. But this isn't an X-Men review. This is BNA. Anyway, there was a lot of things going on. Alan it becomes this golden wolf thing with 3 heads, reminding me of King Ghidorah. Saying that I am pure Beastman. That makes me better Beastman than you have Beastman. And I'm just thinking to myself, so is this what happens if a mutant and a human fall in love, and then they make a half mutant, and the whole world, and then all the X-Men were really half mutants, and then there's pure mutants out there, and then they're just like no, all half mutants the X-Men are bad. And I'm just like, if that happens, Tricky, you better get your lawyers. You're just ready for Marvel. Let's hear. Our boy Silverbolt is the actual Silver Wolf. He's the real Silver Wolf. He becomes a criminal. Because he tries shutting down the whole, cancel Beastman gene thing, and then he becomes a criminal. The mob boss that Nino Flip's dad runs is all like, yo boy, we're gonna help you out, and he is all like, thanks Bob, but I don't need no help. And then Mr. Flip was all like, no son, I be the Godfather here. And Godfather say he help you out, and then Silverbolt is all like, all right then boy, but you ain't gonna like it. I'm gonna go Wolverine up on these people. It didn't happen like that in the show. I'm just doing that just to be funny. I don't understand why people can't take funny. You know what I mean? Anyway, I can go on a tangent on that, but we're talking about a show. then we learn and find out that Silverbolt's howl has an effect on the Beastmen, and I was just like, what? And apparently Michiru's blood fixes the whole breakout problem with the Beastmen. They don't Hulk out if they get a taste of her blood, and I'm just like, I'm gonna boil like cannibalism now, boys. Boys, we got some Texas Chainsaw Massacre up on us now. We got some Wendigos, Texas Chainsaw, Soya family, or whatever the heck they want to call themselves. Those wrong-turned cannibal Holocaust type of ordeals, my dude. No, it was just the fact that, you know, her blood, due to that she was human and it got the Beastman gene, you know, it doesn't affect her. Like, she can't get mad, and, like, it's just, like, oh, that makes a lot of more sense, you know what I mean? Let's see here. Michiru can fly, same with Nazuna. Let's see here. Is there anything else about the show that I'm missing? Legitimately, that's it. That's all I can think about with the show at the moment. Wow, 22 minutes. Well, 21 minutes or whatever this little timer thing he says that I've been talking about about the story. But wow, that's pretty good. You know, no, I guess I can do like a toy review. I guess it's a good show. It's not one of the greatest Netflix shows out there. I mean, there is no such thing as the greatest Netflix show out there. So if y'all believe that there is such thing as the greatest Netflix show out there, get your head out of the whatever you're putting your head in, my dude. Get it out of there. There's no such thing. Okay? No such thing. You can have your favorite shows. It's on one of my favorite shows. It's on one of my favorite anime lists. I can tell you that much. And yes, I have a list. Just leave me alone. You know, it's not bad. It's not a bad show. It's really good. I thought the story was amazing. The characters were great. Right? The animation reminded me too much of Kill la Kill. And I just thought that, you know, the pacing of the story was pretty good. Now, I looked at the show, and I looked at a couple other shows that I like. Like, for an example, No Game, No Life, which is another good show, and SSSSS Gridman, which is an animated remake, and Gridman, a tokusatsu show. So kind of like Super Sentai or Kamen Rider. And I'll talk about those later. You know, those were like very short series and such that had only very short shows that had one season and a short amount of episodes. It was ranging to about 10 to 12 episodes. No Game No Life had 10. Gridman had 12. This one had 12 as well. Well, and I actually made the comparison between BNA and Gridman a little bit, is because of the fact that when you look at the shows, well, they're both made by Studio Trigger, but it's the fact that I said the art style in BNA reminded me a lot of Kill la Kill. The art style in Gridman kind of reminds you a little bit of Transformers Armada, and I'm not mad at the show for doing that. It's just kind of interesting. There's a lot that's also left out too. Like, there's a lot of, you know, world building and such. And I know that there's some people that are going to be like, you don't care for the world building and such because it has nothing to do with the show. And I'm just like, no, I actually like world building and such. You know, it works for shows like Transformers and a few other shows that I'm not going to mention. Because it tells you the world that it's set in. And gives you a more better idea how things work. If you think about it like that. We don't know that much about the world in Gridman, or the world in BNA because we don't get told that much about it. Like, we don't get told about we're told a little bit about the history of the Beastmen and such, but we don't know now how that affected the world later on. I do know that in the prequel novel for BNA 0, very clever name by the way. I'm guessing that is going to tell us the story about Beastmen revealing themselves to the world, the construction of Anima City, and all that other stuff. Again, once when I get the book, I will read the book read it twice, and then tell you guys about it and see how that changes my opinion of the show a little bit more. But there's so much that that they kind of missed out on, and not just the fact that, oh, my theory was wrong. I'm mad that he didn't go this route. I don't care if the show doesn't prove my theories right. I'm just glad that I'm just glad that this happened and it was cool. That's me. I don't care if my theories are wrong or not. I can give a less of a given if my theories are wrong or not. I don't care. I just want to watch the show to see what comes up next. Like, how much can they throw at you before they're like, all right, we're done. We're out of ideas. You know what I mean? That's like what Transformers is. It's like they throw so much stuff at you that you can't believe. Like, yeah, in Transformers Engine, Ironhide's a rookie. Yeah, I don't believe it because Ironhide used to be, oh, I'm so grumpy all the time. That's Ironhide. All right, and I'm just like, why? You know what I mean? That's me. So, and I like to see a little bit more of grounded of the world that our characters are set in and such because, and you can't get mad at me saying, well, you mentioned Sword Art Online and you seem to like Sword Art Online, right? Well, yeah, I do like Sword Art Online. Mine is actually one of my favorite animes out there, right? I'm next to Madoka Magica. Why do you like Sword Art Online so much? Characters are garbage. Yeah, so what? The characters seem a little one-dimensional. But so what? What? That's real life for you, my friend. It's kind of loosely, basically set in the real world. But when they're in the characters, I understand that the characters in SAO are kind of one-dimensional and such. You don't got a lot to go off of and such. But that's the point. The SAO, to my knowledge, is kind of loosely set in our reality and such, and it does show that a little bit with most of the characters that are one dimensional. One of my favorite animes is Build Fighters Try. It's a Gundam show, and that's set in sort of the real world as well. And the characters are pretty bland and boring. They got nothing interesting to them, and it's because that's the point. If you think about it, not every show has to have characters with dark backstories. My parents were killed when I was 5 years old. I blamed myself for that. That's boring. You know what I mean? I want character development. It may be good for shows that don't set in the real world. But like if you're taking a show and you're trying to make it seem close to reality, like our reality, then don't have your characters be so then have your characters a little one-dimensional. You know what I mean? And it's just I don't get it. Those shows don't need world building and such. Other shows like this does kind of need it. Sadly, it does. And it's just like I said. It's just because you throw so much at us that you're not giving us the information needed to make the stuff make sense. I'm fine with things not making sense. That's fine. That's how I'm entertained a little bit by things not making sense. I don't need a logical explanation on why things happen, but I need a good reason why it's happening. You know what I mean? Like, why is Anima City being built when people don't like Beastman to begin with? It just doesn't make sense. It's like saying that in the old X-Men timeline, with Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, I just had to make sure that you guys know that. Just in case you didn't know. Mutants are still hated by humans and such, but they don't, but they are aware of their existence and such, but they don't commemorate them. They don't celebrate them. They just see them as a disease. Like, they see them as, like, people that are infected. And when you look at the reboot timeline as well, it just doesn't make sense on why the X-Men are so cherishable if humans didn't like mutants to begin with. It just you know what I mean? Not saying I hate the reboot timeline for the X-Men or such. It's good. It's just the fact that, why? That's what I mean. I want some world building to see why is certain things the way it is in the BNA universe. There's not asking for crazy explanations for the origins of the Beastmen or how things happen and such. I don't need that. I just want to know, why is there an animosity if humans hate Beastmen? I just want to know that. That's all I want to know. Legitimately, all I want to know. No, so I think I ran on long enough over the overall. It's a good show. I highly recommend it. If I had to place it on the scale out of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being great, I say it's a solid 8. It's a good 8. Watch it. I'll watch it a couple few times. I'm sure I'll get bored with it and such, but it's not like, top 10 greatest, top greatest anime out there. They're not. And it's not me, man. I don't say things are great. Things are terrible. Well, so, all right then. I guess that's my review for BNA. And this is Last Chance saying, when life gets you down, drink some cherry Pepsi. Keep calm, bounce on. I'll see you all next time with maybe another one of these reviews. I actually am starting to like this.